It's been a pretty good season for Arsenal thus far. The Gunners have only lost 2 games in all competitions since the new Premier League season started back in August, and Unai Emery has matched George Graham's first season run of 22 games unbeaten. While the club haven't been able to make up a lot of ground in the league table, there's still been quite a few signs of progress. The club are currently in the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup, they also won their Europa League group, and most importantly, they're doing quite well in the race for a top 4 finish, but there's still a lot of work to be done. In the league, thus far, it's fair to say that a majority of players have exceeded the fans' expectations. With the winter transfer window opening up in just a few weeks' time, I thought now would be the best time possible to give my early thoughts and opinions on the 5 senior players that Arsenal signed back in the summer transfer window and rank each of these players out of a score of 10, because why not? Number 5, Stefan Lichtsteiner. My rating, 5 out of 10. When it comes to Swiss fullback Stefan Lichtsteiner, there's not a lot really that I can say. The 34-year-old signed for the Gunners early in the year on a 1-year deal to provide some much needed depth in the right back position. I'll admit, it is nice to have someone capable of giving Hector Bellerin a rest every now and again, but if I'm being honest, Lichtsteiner simply doesn't have the necessary ability you'd want from a backup to adequately replace the Spaniard whenever necessary. The 34-year-old was once a very good right back, but it's not exactly surprising he's gone down a few levels due to his age. However, it is also worth noting that Lichtsteiner appears to have a massive influence amongst the squad. He carries himself like an absolute leader, and when he is on the pitch you can always see him defending other players in incidents, which is exactly what you want to see from an experienced player. Although his performances haven't exactly been the greatest, it's nice to always see him always do whatever it takes for both his teammates as well as for the club. While he's had a few decent performances here and there, I guess it's not exactly surprising that he finishes last on this list. It'd be unfair on the other signings if he was any higher up. For what it's worth, he'll always play a part in Arsenal's history, even if it is for a very small reason. After Arsene Wenger's legendary 22-year reign came to a close at the end of last season, Lichtsteiner became the first Arsenal player to sign for the club following Wenger's reign. Number 4, Bernd Leno. My rating, 7 out of 10. This might be a bit of a surprising inclusion for some people, or maybe not, but Arsenal's new goalkeeper and number 19, Bernd Leno, takes the number 4 spot for me. If I'm being honest, I'm still not entirely sure what to make of Leno since he joined the club from Bayer Leverkusen in the summer. There have been some occasions where he's been absolutely fantastic between the posts, but there have also been other occasions in which he's been a bit error prone, which makes me a little bit worried. Some of his mistakes versus Liverpool, Tottenham and Crystal Palace, to name a few, are all examples of where I've been left a bit concerned by the German. I've seen a lot of people give him a large amount of praise simply because he's better than Petr Cech. While that is technically true, it's not exactly surprising either when you're comparing a relatively young goalkeeper to a legend who's likely on the brink of retirement. For what it's worth, Leno is a good goalkeeper that fits perfectly into the style of football that Unai Emery wants to implement, but I guess you could say that I'm not fully invested in him yet. I still can't help but wonder what life would have been like if Arsenal kept goalkeeper Wojciech Szczesny after he returned from the club after 2 top seasons with AS Roma in the Serie A. We never should have sold him to Juventus for such a small price. If I'm being honest, that was just a terrible deal on the club's behalf. Number 3, Matteo Guendouzi. My rating, 8.5 out of 10. Similarly with Bernd Leno, my positioning of Matteo Guendouzi in the number 3 spot might be a bit surprising to some of the people who actually watched this video. I don't think anyone could have predicted just how successful the 19-year-old was going to be for the club when he originally joined back in the summer from Lorient for a fee that I believe was around £7 to £8 million. While the picture will look a lot clearer in a few years' time, Arsenal have actually had a saving grace by missing out on PSG's promising midfielder Yassine Adli since they were able to sign Guendouzi in his place. The midfielder has quickly become a fan favourite in a short amount of time, and he has mostly looked impressive in the games he's featured in too. He's very confident on the ball, his passing range is outstanding, and he can also do a good job when building up play. While I'll perhaps controversially admit that the midfielder is a tad overrated at this point in time, especially amongst Arsenal fans, that doesn't exactly change the fact either that he's been an outstanding signing for the club and will likely be a top midfielder in the next few years. Number 2, Socrates Papastafopoulos. My rating, 8.5 out of 10. Just missing out on the top spot for me is none other than central defender Socrates. I'll admit I had my doubts initially when Socrates originally joined the club. I'm not going to pretend that I'm an avid fan of the Bundesliga or Borussia Dortmund for that matter, but seeing the reactions of many people left me feeling a bit pessimistic at the time. Quite a few quote-unquote experts that claim to watch Dortmund on a regular basis said that the defender is simply not good enough anymore, and many Dortmund fans had mixed reactions to his departure. However, now that he's been playing on a consistent basis for Arsenal, I couldn't be any happier at his arrival. While Socrates had a slow start to his new life in London during pre-season, he's quickly removed a lot of his faults, and I'm beyond relieved that he's proven me and my foolish opinions wrong. Unlike Shkodran Mustafi, Sokratis has barely made any critical mistakes in defence, and he seems to be a lot more concentrated. Also, I absolutely love the fact that he celebrates tackles like he's just scored a winning goal. In January, I'd love it if we brought in a great central defender to partner Sokratis, because I think he could perform even better in a better defence. He has quite easily been integral to the team, and he's also been Arsenal's best defender too. While I noted prior that Guendouzi is a bit overrated, I also think at the same time that Sokratis is a bit underrated, especially among fans that aren't Arsenal fans. Unsurprisingly, in number 1 I have Lucas Torreira, with my rating 10 out of 10. Last but not least, Lucas Torreira has arguably been the Premier League's signing of the season, let alone Arsenal's best signing from the summer. The arrival of Torreira at the club just feels like a massive breath of fresh air because we've lacked a player of his quality for years. The fact that Arsenal are reportedly paying Sampdoria approximately 24 million across 3 seasons makes his transfer seem even better because of how cheap the club signed him for. The 22-year-old has easily been one of the Gunners' best players this season, and it's not exactly surprising either. I don't think he's put a foot wrong since he joined the club. His energy levels are outstanding, which can help him win tackles and intercept the opposition's play. He's very good at winning duels, and he's also pretty confident in front of goal. His first ever goal for Arsenal against Tottenham in the derby was a spectacular moment, and his celebration proved just how much the goal meant to him. Also, his overhead kick finish against Huddersfield last week was vital in helping Arsenal keep the pressure on their top 4 rivals in Tottenham and Chelsea respectively. And with that, that's my list. How would you rate Arsenal's summer signings thus far? Reply to this video either via Twitter or via YouTube with your thoughts on whether or not you agree with what I just said. But anyways, thanks for stopping by and watching this video. Maybe check out another video I've made if you like, but most importantly, goodbye, and I hope you have a great day.